Hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I am your guide, Elpy, and we are here in worm bin number 1. Today is the 9th of October 2024. The last time we were in here was the 26th. I didn't mean to let so much time pass, but so it's been 13 days since we've been in this bin. The temperature in the basement is about 66 degrees Fahrenheit, about 18 degrees Celsius. The temperature in this bin is about 63 degrees Fahrenheit. And what's that, like 17 degrees Celsius, somewhere around there. So things are really cooling off. All right, we're going to make this relatively quick. So like I said, it's been 13 days. And the last feeding I know for sure was half of a watermelon shell. The other half went to bin number 2, which also hasn't been visited in 13 days and will be visited today. And the plan was to put, I need to, if you recall, a couple feedings ago, I believe it was the 21st or 30th that we harvested this half. And then a couple weeks ago, we pushed the castings. No, it's more than a couple weeks ago now. 3 weeks ago or so, we pushed the castings from that corner and just pushed them all over here and put new shredded paper in there, which is not something I've done before. So what I've decided, whatever the condition of these castings, they gotta go today, these guys here. So let's go ahead and we'll start, other than just clearing the top of them off. I can already see that things are really wet in here. That's fine except for these castings. But like I said, at this point I just want to get them out of here. So we're just gonna kind of dive in, check them out, see the overall condition of them, see if they're occupied at all by any worms. Obviously, you can see that they're wetter than not because they're not crumbly by any means. I mean, I can break them up with my hand, but so they're not like terribly muddy, but they're definitely not what you would want your castings to be, sort of crumbly. All right. So perhaps what I want to do is, since I know, now we'll dive through. What I was going to say is that since I know I'm going to harvest these regardless of their condition, I should just, instead of investigating, just start scooping them out. But no, as soon as I start digging, I smell a sulfury smell, which I do recall talking about in previous. So I think like a month ago, was listening to some other worm channels and heard them mentioning how wetter conditions are good for breeding, while drier conditions are good for castings. So it's good to know what your end goal is, or just what you're trying to do at that time, at least. I feel like maybe I got a little gung-ho and excited about the idea of my worms breeding more, and therefore, just kind of been a lot more okay with wetter conditions as well. Not being in here for 2 weeks means that I've not had a chance to be stirred up like this and get aired out, if you will. And that was something, when I notice the sulfur smell, that I typically, try to tell myself, at least these days, hey, you need to, get back in there sooner, get that stirred up, get the conditions right. And perhaps it's good if you, more experienced worm people, can tell me if you have multiple goals, if your goals vary. If you want your worms to breed, but you also want to produce castings in the end, I gotta learn how to balance that. If I'm going to keep wetter conditions for breeding, then we need to move these, one, get in here more often and make sure that you're not overdoing it, at least speaking for myself. And 2, what I'm doing is I'm picking out sort of bigger chunks and tossing them into the other stuff. And 2, I shouldn't let so much time pass in between harvesting the different sides of the castings, because the castings absorb the moisture. I notice when I'm trying to keep more moist bedding, that the castings inevitably become even more moist themselves. So, that's good in your soil. It's a good thing to notice that castings that aren't dried out hold moisture well. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get this out. By the way, I don't know about you, but I saw, so this is a 2-gallon bucket. I saw worms on top over there as soon as I took the top off. But as I do this, Hurricane Milton, I'm in Michigan, Hurricane Milton is approaching Florida and is expected to make landfall, I believe, sooner than later. So I'm praying for everyone who was affected and, well, is affected, has been affected by Hurricane Helene. And I pray for everyone in the path of Milton. I hope that people are safe as they can be. And I hope that people were prepared and as prepared as they can be. And I'm praying for you all. And I'm really praying for community and togetherness. I'm praying for an end of the BS, you know, all the drama and the politicizing of everything on both sides, all sides, whatever, man. We have a shared humanity. Let's just let's help each other out, you know. So I hope that people come together. There's a very small worm I just scooped up. I hope that people come together and help each other out. I hope that people don't take advantage of the people who are suffering, of the people who need help, of the properties that have had to been evacuated. I hope that people, you know, that evil spirit does not reside in people. We can do better. You know, we can all do better. Anywho, so I'm praying for everyone, and I will continue to pray. And you know, I don't have any specific. I'm not a religious person. I believe in God. I believe in Christ. But I worship in my own way, on my own time. And I think praying is universal. You know, however you want to do it, go for it. Whether, you know, sending good vibes, energy, love, just, yeah, let's just do that. So, my worms are giving me good vibes. These worm castings, the more I've gotten down to the bottom and stick my face down in here, the more that sulfur smell is pretty strong. It's very strong, actually. It smells like a straight up rotten egg, and that's really not good. So that makes me feel a little frustrated with myself. I mean, not in a like, oh, you are bad, Elpy, you are bad, but just that sort of thing. And these are down at the bottom. Remember how easily I was breaking stuff apart at the top? See how down here at the bottom, well, that stuff looks like it. It's not breaking up that easily. This bucket wants to fall over. So so we got 2 gallons. Seems to be pretty typical. But yeah, see. And then when I squeeze it, yeah, this stuff is way too muddy. And that's why I'm just like, you know what, this stuff just needs to go. Point blank, period. I saw just a couple of small worms in there, so you know the worms don't want to be in there either. Let me move this. Yay! It's like we took a piece of the cake out. Piece of the brownie. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do just a quick search of this area. And then the watermelon, I think the watermelon was over there. And obviously there are some remnants. There's still castings here around the edging. But rotting avocado pit, that I believe this is probably it rotting to, they don't always rot and quite this, I feel like, yeah, I'm sure it's rotting that well because of the moist conditions. All right, so we're gonna be combining everything because I've got some cool fun cardboard from packaging cardboard, and it's soaking right now, that we're gonna be adding. And I'm also gonna be adding some trimmings from my pumpkin plant that, yeah, that's a whole nother story. All right, so like I said, I'm just going to be making this all one bin now. Yeah, I'm saying that because normally I would harvest a whole half and then I would put new material in that half and allow that to sort of become inoculated. But in this case, I'm just going to mix the whole bin together, and we'll probably add the cardboard in the middle. Let's see, is that, oh, that's a cocoon. Nice, 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 nice. So, right off the bat, we're seeing some worms. Worms with a nice clitellum. Excellent. Didn't I say I was going to kind of quickly go through this? So let's just kind of push this over. All right. Kind of help break the material up. Lots of sort of well-worn material. I'm going to scoop up from the bottom. Sounds a little squishy down there. And it is. Here's some of our friends. More of that sulfur smell, which is to be expected. So really, yeah, we're going to get everybody mixed up, and then I do want to aim to put the cardboard at the bottom. Even though the cardboard is mostly, it's going to be half wet. Yeah, you see this is wet material. There's a chunk of wood and a blue worm. Right now, let's just go ahead and start sliding over. Okay, so we didn't see a lot of worms there, which is not alarming to me because I know I fed over there. So let's just start. See, I'm already kind of moving worms around. So there's a lot of them up here at the top. Since I've been more hands-on and making more moist conditions, I've been seeing a lot more worms, or so I think, with big clitellums. Those are pot worms. Okay. Here's a nice big blue worm. Every time I see a blue worm, oh, there's another cocoon. Every time I see a blue worm, I want to grab them and go put them in the bin. But no, I'm going to see how they breed over there. The new bin, the blue worm bin. What's that you say? You're just... This is your first time here, or you didn't know that I made a new bin specifically for blue worms on the 18th of September? Yeah, let me link that video for you. Okay. Ooh, party time. I'm pretty sure it was more than just a melon, but yeah, we got lots of worms. Tons of worms in this bin. I love it. If you don't know, this is my favorite bin. It was also my first mixed worm bin. All right, hey buddy, let's go ahead and stop messing around. I don't expect there to be any food left. I'm actually even surprised to see the watermelon skin, since it's been 2 weeks. First, let's feast our eyes on this. A little bit of stink. It's not as bad as the rotten egg smell, though. Look at that. I think it was the Urban Worm Bag channel that he's dragging along a cocoon. That emphasized the fact that Blue worms really stretch out. And that is so true. Oh, there's another blue worm. Where'd that cocoon go? I think it's right there. Okay, so, man, this stinks a lot. Is this a tomato? No, it smells fruitier than that. But that skin is a plum. I don't think I had any of those left. Here's a piece of paper towel and the skin of our watermelon. Guys, I really am surprised that even that is left. Last time I put both skins of watermelon in here and there was barely anything, just the skins. There's another cocoon. So, worms really like to wrap themselves up in this paper. Let's go ahead and put this away. I don't really notice the, yeah, see in the shredded paper, look how much the worms really, they weave themselves into it. I've not yet uncovered the, rotten egg smell over here. Very wet, not surprising, and you see lots of worms. All right, so we're gonna just let what's left of that little bit of the feeding avocado pit, looks like an egg, doesn't it? We're just gonna let that fall, that what's left of that feeding just be wherever it's gonna be. Tons of worms in here. Awesome. These guys are still looking great. I love to see that bright yellow. And I believe, I know the red wigglers for sure have the yellow, but I think the European night crawlers do too. There's 2 cocoons. They're different colors. I believe the more, ooh, sorry guys, are those green worms. I think they're unbreeding now. I always feel bad when I disturb them. But it's gotta be done. All right, so awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This bin is, for the most part, there's one of our blue worm friends. That's his head in, but he's going the other way. For the most part, this bin is doing really well. The sulfur smell, yeah, that's not a good thing. And a little nice little gathering of worms here. Oh, look at that nice big blue worm. There's a cocoon. Look how big that one is. Wow, that's a nice specimen. Of course, the sulfur smell is not good, but we're in here, we're digging around, we're going to mix it up, and it's going to be okay. The whole bin, the bin is now one whole thing, instead of when it gets divided due to the harvestings and whatnot. All right, it's always amazing to me to see, you know, look at this, look how much paper there is in here now. Right, but even now you can already see it turning into something else. And it's incredible how quickly it will become that something else. And so, given the depth of this bin, the size of this bin, and how deep I keep it, there's a lot of worms in here. And that's always exciting. Ah, interesting. Here's some remnants of an avocado. They love the avocado shells, but I've noticed when you put an avocado, which I do have one, that is more whole, it kind of dries out more and becomes chalky, and they don't seem as interested in that. All right, so we're gonna make a crater here in the middle. And let me go get what I got. All right, we got a lot of good cardboard. I don't know. This is the, I don't know what you would call this, but it's the softer stuff, the more compressed cardboardish almost. Now, I've heard that they use non-toxic glue, because I freaked out once when I saw that. But I heard that it's okay. If you know differently, let me know. I'm not concerned. But okay, so half of this is dry. That's sort of honeycomb. I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually put, here we go, a nice handful of completely dry, just to balance what I'm then adding, which is very wet cardboard. As well, the surrounding environment is rather wet. So now the debate I'm having is, do I add any of the pumpkin to bin number 2, which is actually going to be harvested sooner than later? In fact, it might be that I'm let's just separate these. Okay, we'll add that little bit to bin 2. And bin 2 will get one of these. Yep. Yeah, because, all right, so this is my attempt to add more organic material. That this is food, but they're not food scraps in that way. In the way of that apple. We're going to do half of an avocado. Another apple. That is seriously funky. So that one should break. Tomatoes. Half a lemon. Half of a very small sugar baby watermelon. Cooked sweet potato skin, some more tomatoes, some peppers, some more avocado rind, or what's it called? Watermelon rind, and some seed or arborvitae leaves. All right. Never added arborvitae leaves. Hopefully they're going to be okay. Actually, maybe we should put them on top. We got okra, some tomatoes. We're going to keep our watermelon or pumpkin vine with baby pumpkins on it. We're going to keep that on top. Look at this cardboard. There's a lot of curves and angles to this cardboard, so that should be nice for aeration, for sort of air pockets in there. And that arborvitae leaves was actually trimmings were trimmed probably a couple weeks ago. So this is a little bit of a hodgepodge, but that's what we're going with today. All right. It's pretty. It's festive, right? Okay. So, 8 days. Today is the 9th of October. I almost said September. 9th of October. That's way fewer of the arborvitae than I had meant to put on top, but it'll be okay. Probably gonna have a fruit fly problem with the way I didn't bury those well enough. 8 days. Today's the 9th, so that'll be the 17th of October. I think 75%, 70 to 75%, not including, I think we'll still have evidence of the little pumpkins, the apple, so 65, 70%, because there are items in there that are longer term. So evidence of the watermelon skin will still be there. The apples will still be there. Excuse me, I've never done this before, so we'll see how they break down. The pumpkin, I think the little baby pumpkins will still be there. And yeah, so I think they'll have broken it down pretty well, but I think there'll be a lot of evidence of what was fed before. So thank you for your interest. Thank you for your time. And yeah, be safe, be well, and I hope to see you next time. Oh, by the way, the previous 2 bins, my feelings have gotten really mixed up. So this bin, it's been several days, at least since I fed 3 and 4. So, but at the time that I record this, actually, I'm really far behind on videos. Anyways, thank you. Be safe. Be well. Bye for now.